What is going on, my people? Welcome back to another edition of Singles of the Week. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. If you're new to the channel, just go right on ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell as well to always get notified of my newest content. Now, before I get right into it, I want to make another announcement. Next week is Bonnaroo week, so that means I will not be here for the majority of most of the videos. I will be leaving Wednesday and I'll be gone all weekend. So just so you know, there will not be a Singles of the Week for next week, and you won't see me be too productive when it comes to new content for next week in general. I mean, you can follow my social medias down in the description below and keep up with me while I'm out there so you can get some little neat videos until I make the grand finish of my Bonnaroo review when I come back. But yeah, this is a little heads up that that is coming next week. I am very excited for that, and stay tuned for that video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we are kicking off this week's Singles of the Week with Jack White onto the single If I Die Tomorrow. And this track isn't pulling anything off of his Fear of the Dawn record. This track is more of like a 70s rock Beatles type cut, if you're gonna ask me. It's got some clean electric guitars on here, slow paced drums, soft tone melodics, etc, etc. It's definitely a good combination. Jack has a lot of excitement on here when it comes to his performance. I'm liking it a lot. It's groovy. Should give it a try. Then we have some more Beach Bunny out this week. Entropy is the title of the track. This is just another alternative cut, sounding like it's straight out of the 90s. But it's really good if you ask me. It's like, usually tracks like these don't complement what really came out of that era of punk music and just like rock music in general. Not to mention, most of this has aged fairly poorly in my opinion. But this is really good. I am really enjoying the instrumentals on here. Lily sounds really good on this song. She's a great vocalist overall. This is a great one. You should check it out. Then there's also some new Moor Mother collabing with Melanie Charles on Woody Shaw. Now, I do like some of the neat tricks and writing ideas on this track. The amount of support from the small details added to the backgrounds of this beat are intriguing. As a whole, though, this song isn't so crazy to me. I wasn't really digging the performances so much on this particular track. I like the two individually, but I think there's definitely room for improvement to figure out how to really make this work. I do like the beat though, if I'm gonna add that, so it's eh. Next is another single from ODESZA. The track is called Wide Awake, featuring Charlie Houston, and on here there's some melodrama presented into this future bass, still splitting the two choruses, making them both unique in their own way. So I like the instrumental on here. I think it's built nicely. I like the lo-fi elements of the melodies, but the vocals are like really out of sync onto that first touch before that first chorus. It's just a mess. Because otherwise, I like the plucks rhythmically. They really do keep me wanting more, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm feeling about this future record coming out, so cross my fingers on that. Next is a track from hyperpop artist Shygirl. The track is called Come Girl, and there's some really breathy vocals onto the background harmonies that are very strong in this beat. When the drums come together, it's pretty wavy. There's a lot of warping, pitch modulation. It's just a really wacky song in general. It also feels like just something nice to hear when you get to this chorus. Like, it gives me major 90s R&B vibes all around considered. This song can definitely be a lot, and I think the musicality aspect is appealing to me, so I enjoyed it. Next, we have this new deluxe version of SZA's Control out now. This track is called Tread Carefully. There's lots of distortion rises into the song. Almost gives me like an exotic pop and R&B twist on here. The production's top notch, and SZA is really displaying a memorable performance in my opinion. It's a good run, not a bad recording, but if you would ask me, it just didn't need to be here. Like, this is the deluxe version, so it's like these are just bonus tracks. So I really don't think this makes the record better or worse. It's just kind of like, okay, here's another SZA song, good cut, but it's just, I don't know. I don't think I'll be remembering it for long. Then we got another single from Logic, this time featuring stoner rapper Khalifa onto the song Breathe Control. And yeah, it's a bit underwhelming. I think I hyped myself up a little bit too much based off the releases into the past weeks that we've been getting, but I think it's still a decent cut. Like, the Wiz verse is a typical Wiz verse. There's really nothing out of the ordinary come out into that. I mean, it sounds pretty much similar every verse I pretty much hear him from. Logic's flows go how he goes. Like, on most of these projects, he's still spitting. And I think when this warms together, it's just not as hard hitting as the rest of these other songs felt, like how they just felt so vintage boom bap. This one kind of just feels like some kind of like random modern cut. It just, I don't know anymore. Like it feels like this is gonna be like a half and half kind of record when it comes to just influence, at least, like how these beats really come together. So I don't really know what to expect anymore, so I guess we'll just wait on that. Then we got another track from MGK. This track is called More Than Life featuring Glaive. It's just another terrible mix, another god-awful punk track. I can't understand Glaive's verse on here. I guess it's so buried into the mix. It's just I can't make any sense of what you're saying. It's just trash. Next up is electropop EDM group Big Gigantic featured indie pop singer-songwriter Elohim on the track Free. The full record for Big Gigantic is out now. Go check it out. So I'm going to talk about this track a little bit. I'm just going to say there's not really that much great delivery on here. It's a bland, limp, underwhelming EDM pop cut that I sadly did not think would be this bad. It really did not reach my expectations, sadly. It's just a forgettable track. I just don't care for it. We also have new Halsey out this week with the track So Good. She's seen on here going more acoustic pop this time. It's a breezy track and I'm really enjoying the playing on here, but at the same time I can't help but feel like it's missing that extra thing, you know. It's missing something. It's really missing something to really just go over the top, to like really be a good track, you know. Like it really needed that extra spice. I think that it could have really made this track just so tasteful, and because of that, like, I mean, well, I'm also gonna say the structure is pretty simple. That's kind of why I kind of feel like that, because her singing on here I think is very pretty and it's very nice, but it's almost like canceling each other out with this kind of just boring beat. Like, I guess we'll see if this grows on me, but I'm not too sure. Next up is experimental bass DJ Space Jesus onto the song Mahabharata. I hope I said that right. Mahabharata. I think that's how you say it. That sounds like right. All right. This isn't one of my favorite genres into the electronic genre. I mean, bass artists like this that kind of mix in rhythm with just some experimental bass, just deeper and deeper into that kind of cut. I think it's really only suiting for a live set. I mean, that's kind of where I mostly enjoy it. I can't really play this kind of music isolated. There's definitely good cuts out there that are really nice to hear, just like, you know, just through my headphones and shit. But I'm not really enjoying this. I don't like the way you're let into this drop, and the drop, in my opinion, is just mediocre. I mean, he still falls in line with some of that like psychedelic muse that he's really been going about, but I don't know. If you're into that, you might like it. But man, I don't like it. Then we got some new iann Dior out with the track Live Fast Die Numb. It's some more emo pop rock cuts that have just been dipping his feet in recently, and I think it's just too predictable at this point. Like, I get that's your style, dude, but oh man, I can't tell the difference anymore. It's just more different titles to this new wave, if you're just gonna ask me. I don't mean to sound bogus, bro, but bro, I don't know. I'm not sure, man. I'm just looking for the growth. Like, I'm looking for one of these artists in here that are kind of part of this like new like hip hop, like melodic trap, emo wave, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that like actually show like great potential. I haven't really been finding any of it. Shit, if you know anybody, you should definitely send it to me. I'd really appreciate that. But as far as this cut goes, I am not a fan. Then there is this new Arizona Zervas track with 24K Golden on the song Oh My Lord. I'm not gonna lie, man. It is a bit of a copy and paste kind of structure. It's a pretty similar structure to like any melodic trap song you would hear, but I think these guys sound great on here. Like, this song is very catchy. It is very, very catchy. Like I said, this beat isn't winning me over, but it's really these two that are. I just think that they're just having a great performance on here. It's chill. It's got great melodics. I enjoy this one. Then we got new Lamb of God out this week. This track is called Nevermore, and I was actually really looking forward to the song, but unfortunately it is just an average metalcore track from the band. And like, I expected so much. Like, I don't know, there's some good breakdowns onto the song, but collecting this song as a whole, it just doesn't really put the cherry on top for me as a metalcore track. It just feels more of like a duplicate of just something else that they already made in their discography. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the band makes great heavy music. I love Lamb of God, but like, as far as the track goes, I think it's just okay. Next, we have Demi Lavato out with a brand new song. The title is Skin on My Teeth. So she's seen on here going some punk rock, you know, showing a little attitude, showing that she doesn't give a flying fuck, okay? But if I'm gonna be honest though, I just think that it sounds like some kind of knockoff 2000s punk music. Like, she's not bad on it. Like, the vocal perspectives on here are like okay. I think she can manipulate that style like pretty well. She has the range, but I don't know. If you're gonna add along to this new trend of punk music, it has yet to impress me, and unfortunately, neither does this track. Then we have new music from indie band Pale Waves onto the song Reasons to Live, coming out with some pop punk this time, and you know what? Here we go. It's this is a pop punk track I actually really like. I like this. Like, this is like one of the bands, probably one of the first bands I've seen that, like, normally that's not their thing. When they transition into that actually, I think it's pretty good. Like, it sounds very Neck Deep inspired, maybe a little bit too inspired. That might be kind of one of its flaws. Like, I think it's got great production quality to it, and Heather just has some great dynamic vocalist work to her, and I just really liked her on this track. It's like, it isn't like most punk music that I hear, like when it comes to bands like this, like indie pop bands like this transitioning, like it sounds like good pop punk. Like, I had a good time with it, and I think you should check it out. Next, we have this new Kid Cudi track, and I believe this was a promotion for the new animated show that he's coming out with, called Intergalactic. I think it's gonna be on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. And I get that same feel as any other track that's made for like a film or a show that sounds like it's gonna be its theme. Like, the nice thing about this is that it does feel authentic to Scott's image for this show, but yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It has like some like cosmic electric feels to it on the design aspect, and the hook isn't bad. I'm just not in love with this one as a hip hop track, but I think it'll make a good intro at least. So there's that. Then we got new Princess Nokia out with the track Diva here. She's giving a little shout out to all the OGs in R&B that we've seen over the years. Showing a lot of love to Beyonce, Shakira, Aaliyah with that R.I.P. shout out over like a trap style beat, and it has some like Latin horns to it as well that I'm really liking. Some slick guitars, some really good contrast with all the instrumentals added to this beat. She has a great performance too, and it's really enjoyable in my opinion. I'm not obsessed, but you know what? I think it's good. Princess Nokia, Diva, check it out. We also got the return of duo Slim Jimmy and Sway Lee. Rae Sremmurd out with the song Denial. It's been about 4 years since the last time that we've seen this duo come out with new content. If we're gonna talk about as a comeback, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's gonna get people's attention for sure. I mean, Rae Sremmurd definitely has a lot of people still backing them up. I mean, I don't know. It's a little love track with Sway like taking up the bulk of the appearances on here with Jimmy on a verse, and I guess it's cool to hear. Like, it's cool to see them back. Like, if this is gonna lead to a record, I would like to see how that is. But as far as this song goes, like, there definitely could have been a much bigger margin of error, so I guess that's cool. Then we got the boys themselves, the legendary Jack Black and Kyle Gass, Tenacious D. If you know the band, you know they're jokers, but they're also rockers. It's also just great to hear these guys make something new. It's so cool, and like, they're so funny, and I think you get that with this one, like, where Jack is just talking about some kid that he knew when he was a child, like at some like roller rink or arcade or something, that about some blind, deaf, and dumb kid that apparently was like a killer at pinball, but like he like worships him. It's so random, bro, but I love it. I really do. Like, the rock instrumentals are also really kicking on here. They go hard. It's a fun track to play. It's not for everybody, but I like it. The title is called Tenacious D's The Who Medley. Then there's this new Suicide Boys out with the song Escape from Babylon. What was the approach with this early on? I was digging the sample at first, but then it just chopped up into something so awkward with the drum lines, and yeah, I didn't think that was good. I was like pretty bored for the most part of this track. I almost like was about to adapt to it when the first verse started, but it's just not good. It just got boring the entire time. I don't like it. King Princess has some new music out this week. The title is called Too Bad, and she plays with a lot of distortions that works really well with her vocal manipulations. I just think it doesn't make anything attractive combined with the drums and acoustics on here. It's also kind of awkward. Like, I think more work really needed to be done on here on the songwriting aspect, just like the thought process of it. I just felt like when I was playing this song, I just was getting like more numb to like this style. Like, I just really feel like I heard this before, like too many times, and it's just meh. We also got Marshmello coming back for a second round with pop singer Khalid. If this was another attempt to make the Silence track, that's not achieved. This is so much way more blander, more tedious, more uninspiring. It's just a crappy summer pop song. It's super forgettable. I do not like this one. The track is called Numb. Ending this week's singles of the week, we got Miss Pop Superstar Lizzo on the track Grrrls. This song, I'm gonna admit, does have a rough beginning. It does. Okay, I was like kind of sad, but I love the way she finishes, my guy. Oh man, like there's definitely, I love her personality. Like she has so much personality on her music. There's just makes great hooks. It makes great hooks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm loving this funk influence that she's starting to head for this new record. It's just so great. Yeah, it's a wrap. Lizzo gets the green light. Singles of the week, baby. And that is it for this week's singles of the week, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go on and like, share, comment down below, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Down in the description, you'll see all the links for the tracks that I talked about in this video, more videos, and also the links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. Make sure you follow me so you can keep up with me when I'm at Bono next week. I'm catch you in the next one.